The Undertaker, arguably the greatest wrestler of the 90s, noughties and 10s. Certainly, the dead man needs no introduction to wrestling as we take a look at the rookie wrestling card year 1991 for The Undertaker. On top of that, we take a look at Jack's discovery of the Greek MPLEK 1991 rookie year wrestling card. The man had everything: global fan appeal, huge wrestling merchandise, amazing matches, and a legendary career that we can't forget about. I'm talking about The Undertaker, not Jack. And it's safe to say, I don't think wrestling will ever get a character like this again. Well, certainly for a long time that is. But what we enjoyed most about this is doing some research, digging through all the retro Undertaker wrestling cards, and giving you this video. Before I do the honours and pass over to Jack to give his side of the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, submit wrestling cards, and also let's take a closer look at some of the great early 1991 Undertaker wrestling cards and stickers out there. Well, the first card, and probably his go-to card, is this one on the screen now. It's card number 64 from the classic set, and it's got the blue border with the red writing, very standout, and yeah, of course, it is a classic. The blue border set is a great set. It's very popular. There is 4 Undertaker cards from this lot, and this one is card number 30, where Undertaker is just in the ring. The next one up, the Undertaker is doing the tight rope or tight warp, clothesline, whatever you call it, is maneuver card number 88. And finishing off from that set is card number 106, where he's wrestling Tugboat. The other 3 in the set aren't quite as popular as card number 64, but they are his rookie year and they are quite the go-to card for the Undertaker. Then, not forgetting the playing card set, it's a bit of like a rainbow chase, it's a 9 of diamonds, and you can see all them on screen now. Stretching it out further, don't forget the stickers. There is also the Diamond Euroflash book from the USA, but we're taking a look at the Merlin Wrestling sticker album now. You can see that there's 4 individual stickers. You got the Undertaker logo, and of course it includes Paul Bearer, which of course it's his rookie year as well. Next page, there's the Undertaker with the lilies on the coffin. There's not many in-ring poses, but hey, it's Undertaker and they all look very cool. Now I'm finishing off, probably the greatest series for me is the Merlin 1991 set. There's 7 Undertaker cards in total. You can see them on screen as we flick through. These were available in English writing, German writing and Italian writing. Also in the UK there was a mini trading card set to these, and these are basically a quarter of the size of a standard trading card. So that's pretty much it for the Undertaker wrestling cards as we know it. Now we go on to Jack's discovery about the Greek wrestling card from 1991. I'm going to pass over now to Jack and let him tell his story.
Well, like most of my stories, it starts with me looking through some card pages on Facebook. And I stumbled across a seller I don't necessarily recognise, and they had a few cards for sale that I'd never seen before. To be honest, this is quite a normal situation for me. The card that stuck out for me was the Undertaker card. Now, I'd never seen that image used on a card before, and also I'd never seen the card design before. The seller had about maybe 4 or 5 other cards for sale from the set, but I opted to buy the Undertaker, the Heart Foundation and the Warrior, all for around about $20 each. Bear in mind I'd never seen these before, so I was happy to pay that kind of price. From talking to Kev, we were curious because the picture that was used for the Undertaker was a very, very early attire picture due to the colour of his gloves, and this sparked our curiosity. From speaking to the seller, he told me that it had come from a Greek magazine called MPLEK, or Black as per the translation. Desperate to find more information for it, I looked up the editions of these magazines and I noticed that throughout 1991 and 1992, these editions regularly had plastered on their front covers wrestlers from WWF and from WCW, but being in Greek, I had no idea what any of them said. Now the hunt starts. I joined a couple of Greek toy groups and some comic pages and book pages, and I asked around and discovered that from January 1991, MPLEK had released a few of their bi-weekly editions that translated to Wrestling Aces Inside, and I assumed at this point that this meant the cards. So now I started to ask for the editions of these comics for the cards. Now, if it were true that these were released in January/February of 1991, this means that it was released before the May 1991 Blue Border Classic Undertaker cards, meaning that these Greek cards could be his true rookie. Now, around this time, I was put in touch with a bookstore owner in Greece who had some uncut sheets of the full sets of these cards straight out of the comic, so I snapped these up. Realising that I needed to get these authenticated, I needed a grader on my side, so I started to log the cards on some of the wrestling card sites. One here and one here. Now, for PSA to recognise these cards, I needed 2 credible websites to list them. Once they had them listed, I submitted my set registry request to PSA, and I waited. And waited, and finally I got a response. They said no. They said there wasn't enough information and it was insufficient for them to be able to certify that they were a recognised set. Now, the problem that I faced was that whilst waiting for their response, I was actually put in touch with another Greek comic dealer who had the actual comics that the cards were still attached on the inside from. So 100% I snapped them up. So now I have a loose Undertaker card. I have a full uncut sheet. And I have a sheet that's still included in the comic. And on the front pages of the comic were pictures of the cards. Now, looking at the release dates of the comics when I received them and then getting them translated, I had unfortunately confirmed that these comics were not released in January or February, but they were in fact released in November 1991. So by this point, I have now 100% verified that these are not the true Undertaker rookie cards, but they are still part of his rookie year and still incredibly rare. So I look to resubmit to PSA with all my new information, but there's a problem. They're closed for public set registry requests. To the public, that is, but not through the subcentre. So eagerly I scrambled to get all of this information together in a nice little email. I even recorded a video of me flicking through the comic, showing the cards, the release date, all the translations, all the information to show that these were officially released with the with the comics. But, I mean, they still are probably bootleg cards. But hey, PSA still grade bootleg cards, right? So, with everything gathered, everything put together, in the video, in an email, there's photos, there's dates, there's documents, the links to the websites that PSA have requested, everything. And I submit through the subcentre. And I wait. And I wait. And finally, I get the response. They said no. Again, they said no. So now I'm completely disheartened. I respect PSA for doing their due diligence here, but it's very annoying that they do not want to accept this set. Now, anyone again saying that they don't verify bootlegs, quite frankly, you are talking shit. 1982 All-Stars are bootlegs, Monty Gunn are bootlegs, Wacky Wrestling, bootlegs, all verified by PSA. So now I ask for your help. Is anybody out there able to help get this set recognised and preserved? Because, to be honest, if it isn't American sports or Pokemon, PSA just don't seem to care.
And on that, we see Jack's passion, his desire, and to get this great set recognised by PSA or even Beckett. Maybe that is our next shot, but we are never ever going to give up on this amazing card set. On top of that, we will never ever give up on searching for great wrestling cards. Believe you and me, we have a stack to go through. We are always searching, and it's not just your basic websites. The aim of this video is just to give you some insight to this great wrestling card set. I know for a fact that there is other great Undertaker cards out there, and I'm sure there is earlier than May 1991. I think also it shows the importance of SWC. The Facebook page is doing really well. You're always welcome to join Summit Wrestling Cards, and it just gets us all talking from all corners of the globe. That means now our next quest is to try our very best to get this card set graded, but we're not going to give up on searching for more. Always watch this space for Summit Wrestling cards. I hope that you've enjoyed the video and it's brought you some great memories of the Undertaker and some questions that need answering. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for now. We will be back. Summit Wrestling cards. Goodbye for now.